Are you looking for more out of your life? Do you need ideas on how to start new businesses and how to move forward in your own personal life? Well, guess what? You have come to the right radio show. At You Can Overcome Anything podcast show, you will learn and hear from many people from all walks of life who are sharing their challenges, their stories, the habits, and the mind shifts they had to overcome to become who they are today. On top, you will get a chance to connect and see how you can overcome anything by networking and learning about your next move through this radio show. I present to you our great speakers at You Can Overcome Anything podcast show with your host, Cesar Espino. Hello there, and welcome back to another episode of You Can Overcome Anything podcast show. It is your host, Cesar Espino. And today I have a special guest. His name is Alex Mehr. Hey, Alex, how are you today?
Hey, thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, dude, definitely. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and give us a little bit of a background of what you do, your upbringing.
Yeah. Um, so I'm a tech entrepreneur, a serial tech entrepreneur. And I've been a tech entrepreneur since 2007. And before that, I was a scientist. So growing up, I never thought I
Hmm.
would be an entrepreneur.
Yeah,
I
right.
grew up in an academic family and it was all about getting degrees and stuff. Um, but in 2007, I decided to try my hand at entrepreneurship and I have a tech background.
Hmm.
So I was like, well, what is the trend at that time? And at the time, if you remember, iPhone came out in 2007, so
Hmm.
smartphones and then apps are open in 2008. So it was like, well, I'm going to start an app studio. And this is way before people knew what apps were. In
Yeah,
fact, when I said we build apps, people thought appetizers.
yeah,
Uh,
right.
so that's the beginning of
Yeah.
this journey of entrepreneurship. And over the years, I learned a lot about what I'm good at and what I'm not good at. And I found that my sort of, you can call it gift, talent, whatever you want to call it, is the ability to see new technology and make it helpful to people.
Okay.
And now enter AI. I'm like, okay, how can I harness this technology and make it useful for people, especially entrepreneurs? And that's why I started Famous Labs.
Got it. Got it. That's actually very interesting. And right now, I think there's still a vast majority of people that haven't really embraced, in my opinion, technology, right? A lot of people, especially looking at the older generation, getting used to AI or apps or, now you do everything on your smartphone, right? Back in the day, you didn't have that. Tell me about, I believe there's still a vast majority of people, right, that are against it, and therefore they don't either utilize it, they don't, from a consumer perspective, right? And so how can an entrepreneur, business owner can reach and develop their talents by using the AI tools when there's probably a good chunk of the population that don't want to use it?
Yeah, so I mean, here's the funny thing. I've been in tech for a long time, and I literally, for a living, I build tech products.
Hmm.
But I won't say that tech is good or bad. Tech is not a moral thing to be good or bad. It's a tool. People
Hmm.
can choose to use it or choose not to use it. People can choose to use it for good or bad or completely ignore it. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
the tech itself doesn't have morality. It's just a tool. And the moment you think about it that way, then your decision is, do I ignore this tool? It's a very powerful tool. Do I use it for good? Or hopefully not, but
Right.
someone somewhere might use it for bad. So that's how I think about it. And it's really what I tell people is choose to ignore it at your own risk. I mean, maybe it will be end up okay for you because a lot of people, they have like things that are like entrenched and it's not going to be touched for a few years. Okay.
Hmm.
But eventually AI will touch pretty much everything, in my opinion. So it's a matter of timing.
Yeah.
So it's in a way, it is your choice. Do you want to adopt it or not? My recommendation is definitely look at it.
Yeah.
And even if it is not relevant to you at this moment of time, just know what's coming.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah, definitely.
yeah,
Let's talk about some of the pros and cons because I think in either side of it, right? I think it's important to know that, and I do believe the that AI in tech, it's the future. It has been, and I think that people, entrepreneurs, if they want to step into any kind of space in this business, we're talking about it right before we started, you right? Even writing a book, right? Can you use AI tools to help you with that, right?
yeah.
And so I think it's something that we are all gonna need. But there's some obviously pros and cons that, or perception. Maybe it's the perception, and you maybe can help us with some of that. And part of the perception might be that AI and all this technology is here to take over our jobs, right? What are we gonna do then, right? And that's one thing that comes up a lot and serves a lot, so from many different angles. And so, what is your perception or your opinion on that perception of is it gonna take over or not?
Yeah, this is fun because I have an AI company, but I am not like a lot of AI entrepreneurs who are have this really rosy utopian version of AI. The way I think about it is AI will be used for good if we make it do that.
Hmm.
And it will create a lot of collateral damage if we allow it. Okay. So meaning AI isn't writing its own future. We are.
Mm.
So we can be proactive about it in a positive way. We can be proactive about it in a negative way, or we can be passive. Okay. My choice is look, there are things that are outside my control. This is a lot of people building a lot of AI tools. I know what I can do. And my thing is, I'm going to take this new technology unlock and I'm going to build products that specifically help people in certain areas in ways that I can actually see and understand. Okay. And that's to me is the best I can do. And if everybody does the best they can do, it's like, how do you make big macro changes in the world? A lot of people make micro changes. So I'm like, well, if a lot of people try to harness this technology in a helpful way,
Hmm.
that's how AI will shape our society. If we remain passive, then you're essentially allowing others to make that decision, which may turn out good or bad,
Right.
but I'm gonna do my best. So that's
Yeah,
all
for
I can do.
sure. Yeah, no, definitely. So now let's talk about maybe some of the good, things that are the good things that can come out of that. Let's just say I'm
Yeah.
or maybe tell me a little bit about your avatar. Do you work with any kind of industry, entrepreneurs, any kind of industry, or there's a specific niche you work with? And is there a specific cap of what they're making, or how long they've been in business for you to interact with them and work with them?
Well, we are a software company, so
Hmm.
anybody can sign up for our platform. It's on
Okay.
Famous.ai. And what it does is everybody has a talent or a gift, okay, or a unique take because of their life experience. And a lot of people in their heads know how to productize it, but they're not able to productize it, meaning they cannot turn it into a website, an app, or something that they can offer to other people and build a business around it, which allows them to propagate their talent and capture value, pay for their bills and for their family. So, what Famous AI does, it essentially allows you to explain what you want to build and it builds it. So, it could be a mobile app, it could be a website, it can be as complex as you want it to be. And we continuously build this platform that make it more and more comprehensive to capture more and more use cases. So, if someone is in real estate and they want to set up their own marketplace where they connect buyers and sellers, they can set it up on Famous.ai. If
Mhm.
somebody is a in welfare and in healthcare and they want to in wellness and healthcare and they want to help people with diet and they want to build an app that promotes their own way of living a healthy life, they can build that with Famous.ai. So they just essentially take your gift, type it up, and let the platform build it for you, and then you iterate with the platform. That's the big idea.
Mm.
So it's like, okay. And so I built a lot of apps myself. When I started as an entrepreneur, I started building apps. And I had engineers, I had backend infrastructure, I raised venture capital, I lived in Silicon Valley, I went to VC firms, pitched the product, raised the idea. I understand that it's not available to everybody.
Hmm.
Okay. So they don't have the tooling, the people, the capital, resources, connections, all the things to make it happen. So my dream is I make Famous.ai so powerful that the next version of me doesn't need to do all those things, even if they don't
Hmm.
have any access. They can just turn their idea into apps or products, websites, whatever, digital products for now.
Hmm.
They can productize it without having access. And that's like what we motivates us every day, and every day we work towards that. And it's good to see people that who are successfully doing that. It's like a good feeling. And it's not a journey that is going to end today.
Yeah, for
It's a
sure.
very complex project, but AI is getting stronger and our tooling gets better. We see more use cases. We continue building, and I think I'll get there. Essentially, we will be able to enable every entrepreneur out there to build their product without having to have access. Level the playing field for everybody.
Yeah. No, and I think that's huge. I mean, being able to do that, because again, you're right. Not having the engineering or the different elements, different people to put this together. When you start thinking about it from that perspective, it might seem a little bit overwhelming. Where you are here centralizing all of that and making it easier for somebody to say, "Hey, all you got to do is come with this idea, and let me and my team that I already spent all these resources I have." The ability to do this, create something that is going to fit within your vision, right? Now you can put it into
Yeah,
practice.
yeah. Just to be clear, it's not our team is doing it. It's AI is doing it. That's the beauty of it. So
Hmm.
you
Okay.
type in your idea, and within you see the first version of it within 14 to 12 to 16 minutes, something like that.
Oh,
So
wow, that fast.
essentially, yeah. So yeah, it builds the front end and back end and wires everything up, and it gives you. We spent a lot of time on that first version, so you can essentially go in there and like if you have a book on whatever health, you can literally grab like the copy of it and say, hey, this is my thing. Can you build an app that allows people to track their whatever it is based on my formula? Okay, and
Mm.
then literally within I want to say maximum the most complete builds take about 20 minutes, and you go grab a cup of coffee
Wow. Yeah. No,
and when you
that's
come in,
huge. Yeah.
I think that's what a lot of people don't realize is with AI how easy those things are. Now the first version, we have spent a lot of time on that first version. It's very important. It's like the reason I think a lot of people give up when they try to build products with AI is because what AI spits out is not sexy enough.
Mm.
Okay. So the idea is already fuzzy in their head. Okay. So they don't have a clear vision. That's the truth. Myself included. When I have an idea, it's not very clear.
Right.
Then you make it work, make AI work. And what it gives you, even though it is sort of like if you're like can project, you can see where it's going, but it's not like does it's not something that is sexy and excites you. Our goal is to create something sexy with the first prompt, which is why it takes longer than a lot of no code builders. And we've done a lot of work on design and how it looks from it reasons through how to market this so it creates really nice landing pages and stuff like that for the product. The reason for that is I want to get the entrepreneur hooked. I want them excited. I
Mm.
want them to see their vision like in a built out way. It essentially fill in the gaps for them because I know once they see that, then if like, oh, this, they need to set up payment, so they need to do an integration to a
Mhm.
processor or use our internal processor. They need to set up like a CRM, so they need to hook that up. That's a little bit of extra work, but people won't do that if I don't get them excited about their own idea.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I get them
Yeah.
excited about their own idea. I'm like, here, you see, this is what you were thinking. And then that's why it's like a very specific mindset. I'm trying to help people. It's interesting because it's not just a software solution. It's
Yeah.
also understanding people and entrepreneurs and putting yourselves in their shoes and try to think on their behalf. It's because I've walked that walk,
Yeah.
I know exactly how it feels. So
Yeah, and actually, that was going to be my next question. Is the human component, right? A
yes,
lot of people get lost and they feel like I don't want to be talking to an AI. I want to feel like I'm on the other end. Is like if it was a human, that human component, right? And I know
right.
that even myself, like sometimes I'll be on the phone and you're like you're calling somebody and it's an AI answering or something like that, and it just doesn't feel good. And so, from a consumer perspective, you might be losing business because of that. But I think you kind of answered that is how do we make that so that that's not the case? Like how do we make that interaction where it feels and sounds like if it was the human component on the other side, right?
Yeah, but okay, but it's like a different use case. So
Mm-hmm.
if AI's job is to sell you something, you probably want to make it human like. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But my job is not to make famous AI human like. My job is to make famous AI powerful so it becomes a really powerful assistant to you. So not that, oh, it chit chats with you. It actually is like minimal chit chat. It's not like chat GPT that's like a
Or bot,
chatting.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like it is its goal is very specific. It's like it's designed to turn ideas into digital products. It's like
Mm-hmm.
it's a tool. I want it to feel like a tool. I want it to be powerful because end of the day, we have other products that are like we have supercool.com, which is a complete chatbot. It's very powerful, but that is a completely different purpose.
Right.
Famous.ai is like to me, is like I am gonna create the ultimate entrepreneur making machine. So it's not there to ask about how your day is and learn about you or whatever. It's like, what's your idea? Let me build the best version of it. Like as long as it does that job super well, I'm
Right.
fine with that.
Got it.
So,
Got it. Then talk to me about what happens once you okay. So I go in there, put my ideas, takes whatever 15, 20 minutes, whatever time frame,
yeah.
and it creates something based on the input that I gave it.
Yeah.
What are the next steps?
The
Like
next
for
step is you iterate. So you say,
okay,
okay, great, but the logo, put this logo on it. This text is wrong. My
okay,
pricing is this. So you just continue going back and forth. You're like, oh, this button doesn't work. That color is wrong. When I log in, I see this. I need to see that. So like, you go with it. I want to say like depends on the complexity. Sometimes you can get a product done with one prompt. Okay, it's
hmm,
like depends. It's a simple product. But most products require a few prompts. Okay, depends on and there are projects that are like huge. Someone wants to create, another Airbnb, so that's like
yeah,
weeks of prompting.
right,
So it's like I want to say for most entrepreneurs, you can get to MVP within a day, within a few
okay,
hours, in fact. Okay,
yeah,
um, and at that point, if it is a web app, which is it is a website,
hmm,
it's like you just connect your domain and it's live. It is
got
hosted on
it,
our platform, front end, back end, everything connected.
gotcha,
If it's an iPhone, Android, which I recommend people don't start with, and we can go through that also. We cover them, and not only we cover them, we are the only ones with direct connection, so you can actually submit to the stores from inside of our app directly.
okay,
But that takes time because you need to set up a developer account. It's just Apple and Google are gatekeepers, and
hmm,
then review process go back and forth. So it's like a few weeks of going back and forth. Our platform builds it fast, but
yeah,
Apple and Google
right,
are gatekeepers, which is why I tell people, you want to iterate when you have the idea, you want to probably iterate as a web app first, which you can do on our platform super fast.
yeah,
Connect a domain. You can buy the domain on our platform if you have a domain connected, and
gotcha,
bam, you're live in a few hours max. So
wow,
yeah.
yeah.
So
No, that's good. And then the web app is obviously meant to where if you're in a physical computer on your phone, because I know sometimes that can also the way it might look on a computer might look a bit different.
it's gonna make it mobile responsive. So it's actually part
Gotcha.
of the yes. So we build it mobile responsive. You can test it also, like essentially go to the
Hmm.
same URL on your phone. If it's wrong, tell AI. It knows exactly what mobile responsive is. So it will make it mobile responsive. But I want to say the majority of the time it makes it mobile responsive first shot. So and you just it works on your phone, it works on your desktop.
Yeah.
Log in, all those are we have solved all those problems. Log in, sign up, whatever you need to do. So
Yeah.
it is got to build it. Yeah.
And then is there a how does uh and if you're able to talk about it, but just so people can get an idea if they want to do something like this, and hey, I have an idea. I think I want to create, a web app. Is it your services? Do they work based on the time that it goes in there? Like how do people? How is the pricing? I guess
Oh
factor.
yeah.
What are the factors that go into that? I guess.
Yeah, it is credit based. So you essentially it's kind of, I mean,
Yeah.
way cheaper than a human developer.
Right.
So
Right. For sure.
yeah. So essentially based on it, I mean, a simple thing, a simple one pager is like one prompt and it's cheap. Um,
Mm,
and if it is a more complex product, it's basically based on, it uses tokens,
gotcha.
and it builds, and depending on how complex your project is, but compared to any alternative out there, like human developer, go on Upwork, it's just like not even on the same planet.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, no, I get it. Okay. And so obviously you fell into this world of tech, and you're loving it, and you're making some stripes here. Let's talk a little bit about I'm always interested in knowing you as a person. We talked a little bit about that. Also, there's that human component and the mindset, right? Um, for you to be able to get all these ideas and be able to get into this, I think there's a component of being in a different type of mindset, having a different type of discipline, even you as a person, right? So tell me a little about it, about your disciplines and the things you do on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah. So it's a very complex question. I'm trying to think how
Okay.
to peel off layers of this. So if you are an unmotivated person,
Hmm.
um, I don't know how to help you. Okay. So if someone is listening and they don't have motivation and energy, I never had that problem. So I don't know how to help you other than saying, before you do anything, you need to understand whatever that motivates you. It's just, you have to have that. It's going to be a tough journey. Entrepreneurship is a tough journey. Whoever that tells you it's not is lying. Okay. So, okay. People ask me, okay, so what's a good motivation? My answer is I never had a motivation issue, but if I were to give you one piece of advice is try to be motivated by something other than yourself.
Mm,
Okay. So it's the reason needs to be outside of you. Could be some bigger thing, could be art, could be family, your kids, your parents. I don't care. Okay. It's just, I feel like people who have a selfish drive, they burn out. My observation. People who are selfishly driven, they burn out quickly.
mm.
Okay. So it's because it's a shallow reason.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So find your motivation, energy, whatever you. That's number one. It's like if you don't have it, it's just entrepreneurship is not for you. It's like it's just not. Once you have it, you have the energy, or if you don't have an energy problem, motivation problem, then the next thing that I see people make mistakes about is they try to build things or do things that are not in their zone of competence. So essentially, everybody, because of their life experiences or natural born talent or whatever, upbringing, they have an area they're naturally good at. They might be an expert in. Okay. Try to build in that area, even if it sounds boring to you because you've been doing it for a long time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's a second thing I think people get wrong all the time. And I'm talking about really accomplished people, like they're like whatever is specialized, like attorneys and stuff like that, the best in class. And they
Yeah.
try to build like, a gadget that has nothing to do with what they're good at. It's like, I think that's the biggest mistake that people make. So I would say stay in my zone of competence. And the third part is um, productization of your ideas. So, okay, so I am a high energy guy. I'm ready for battle. I know I'm going to go into this to battle in this particular terrain because I'm familiar with it. Okay.
Mhm.
Then the next thing is, how do I attack it? Okay. So there, my advice is, like, essentially how I did as an app entrepreneur or now as an AI entrepreneur. That question, don't let that question stop you. Even if you don't have the answer to that, as long as you answer the first two questions, the third one you figure out over time.
Mm,
So it's when I started an app company, I didn't know what app was going to win. We started actually as a polling company, and then we did gaming, and then we did quizzes, and then eventually we ended up in online dating. Here
mm,
at Famous Labs, we started with multiple different ideas before we launched Famous.ai. So it's like that question. But you see, I was in the right place where my talent was relevant, and I had the motivation. So I didn't stop. I didn't stop. I just kept iterating, and the answer revealed itself. Okay.
mm,
So the thing is, have this staying power. So it's actually, to summarize what I said. Step one, motivation. Have this staying power. Step two, stay in the right place. Okay.
mhm, mhm,
Step three, keep staying persisting in that place until you find the exact specific good idea. Okay.
mm.
So that's my method to it, and I
Yeah.
think it will be useful for other people.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love that. Alex, if people want to find out where they can start building their app or find out more about you or your products, where can they find you?
Yeah, I mean, for Famous.ai, go to Famous.ai in your on your desktop computer, on your phone. To find me, Instagram at Dr. Alex. Doctors is spelled out Doctor Alex on Instagram. That's sort of the primary thing I use for social media.
Okay, awesome. I love that. I love that. Anything that you foresee? I know that the coming years is really more about AI, and we're embracing that even more so now. You're seeing a lot of that technology. Anything that you would say to entrepreneurs to make sure they stay ahead and don't miss out on what could be the greatest things for them? Any advice in terms of that?
Early bird gets the worm. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
so it's like you can choose not to show up early. It's just like when you by the time you show up, it's
it's too late.
leftovers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So that's the advantage of being early.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Awesome. Well, thank you, Alex, for everything you had to share here. Any last minute things you want to say before I let you go?
We're good, man. It was a great interview.
All right. Thanks so much, Alex, for being here. And for the rest of you guys, do me a favor. Please make sure that you guys share this podcast because somebody definitely needs to hear this. Go out and connect with Alex. Check out what he has to offer for you, especially if you're in the business of entrepreneurship and want to have something to offer. Go check him out. See you guys in the next episode. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Cesar Espino, real estate investor, business coach, and consultant, and author of the book, You Can Overcome Anything Even When the World Says No. My number is 424-501-6046. In my book, I talk about making the necessary changes to shift your mind for prosperity and certainty. Pick up your copy at Amazon. I also love helping families with their real estate and can purchase your house fast and all cash. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. My number is 424-501-6046.
Thank you for having me today. I am so glad you've tuned into this podcast. You can find me at your favorite podcast platform where you can like, subscribe, comment, and share. And to learn more about myself, my services, you can find me at www.CesarRespino.com, or you can also find me at your social media. Thanks for joining me, and I am looking forward to having you at the next episode. And know you truly can overcome anything.